think one, important thing as well at the moment is to really stay in the heart space. So some of the things we'll be focusing on today are around the heart space, and just connecting inward to that beautiful space within. I also want to do a couple of techniques that are really good for helping to release tension. So sometimes when we feel, there's a bit of anger going around, there's a bit of anxiety and frustration, and it's really important as well to be able to express these in ways that are healthy. And sometimes when we don't express, anger, or we're not creating boundaries that support us, and so we're feeling, frustrated or angry about things like that as well. If we don't express it, it can manifest in the body in different ways. And certainly in ways such as digestive problems and constipation, heart complaints. I was reading up on it before. Any sort of uncontrolled aggression, particularly can cause weak liver, problems with digestion, constipation, tension, heart complaints, and so on. So I'm going to teach the first one. We might actually start with one today. This is a hand mudra, and it's a good one to do if you're feeling frustrated. It helps to release that energy out of the body without us sort of acting on it, and without it also making us sick over time. So we're going to, it's interesting because with this one we do make fists, and we make fists with the hands, and then we're going to take the thumb, and the thumb kind of comes onto the third finger, like the ring finger. In the picture I've got of this one, the thumb actually comes over, onto that top part of the ring finger. I can't reach my thumb there. My thumb just makes it just over my knuckles. So that's all I'm going to go. Maybe your thumb won't even make it to the knuckle, or maybe it'll come all the way over. So it sort of just reaches to the ring finger. And we can let our hands just rest anywhere. If we're sitting on a chair, they can just sit on the lap. If the legs are cross-legged, then just let them rest down on the knees. And rather than focusing on the full fist, really focus on the thumb on that ring finger, and then you'll feel the other fingers pressing in toward the hands. And let's take some beautiful breaths here, just to begin with. This is called Mushti mudra. It activates the liver and stomach energy and promotes digestion. It's very good for any constipation. Often aggression is based on not being able to say no, or not being able to set boundaries and letting ourselves be driven into a corner. So it's good to look at any causes of frustration or aggression and develop a strategy as to how its trigger can be removed or lessened or eliminated. And many problems can be cleared up by discussing them. So as we do this, we can imagine any situation where we behave, overly fearful or overly aggressive. And interestingly, fearfulness and aggression are very connected. And we can imagine in this scene practicing how to say no, standing our ground in a calm, peaceful way. We can imagine being calm and serene, even as we stand in our power and set our own boundaries. The affirmation we can use here is, I am quiet and serene in every situation. And I release any fear or anger. Imagine releasing it out of your body with the breath, with each exhalation. Letting go of any fear, letting go of any worry, letting go of any anger. Knowing that it's a trigger, emotional response, or perhaps we feel backed into a corner. And allowing it to release. Let's take a few long yogic breaths here. We can breathe into the belly, up into the ribs and heart, and we can slowly exhale all the way out. And we can do that again. Inhale, long and deep. And long exhalation out. And we'll do 2 more. And then we can release our hands. When you feel ready to, we can slowly, gently blink, open the eyes. Beautiful. Let's interlace our hands together and stretch the arms up above the head. Good morning, Joe. See you there. Lengthen along the spine. And releasing the arms down. Let's inhale, right arm up. A little stretch over to the side. Reaching across. Send the belly, send the breath into our belly. And coming back up and then over to the other side. And coming back up, and one last little one. Let's walk the hands forward. We'll do a little forward bend. Reaching the fingertips out in front of you. Wherever's comfortable. Feel the rib cage lengthen forward, lengthen along the spine. Lengthen the tailbone back. And then inhale, let's walk our hands back in toward our body. Beautiful. So we're going to come down onto the ground now. And let's grab a belt and have a belt handy. And we'll lie down on our backs. And stretch out our legs. And just start, once you're lying down, just circle the ankles a few times one way. Stretching the ankles around. And then let's circle the ankles the other way. Going around. Beautiful. And then let's bring our right knee in toward our chest and just taking hold of that leg. Draw that leg in toward your body. Feel the ground beneath you. And just know that you're okay. You can say to yourself, I'm okay. And then we can release that right leg down and let's draw the left leg in. Squeeze that leg in toward the chest. Feel the ground beneath you. You can say to yourself, I am safe. Beautiful. And let's release that leg down. Let's take the belt now across our right leg and stretch it up toward the sky and get some length down the back of that right leg. So this one is very calming for the nervous system. So we're just going to breathe into this nice and gently. Feel the breath flow in and out. And we're just coming into this present moment. Noticing where we are at the moment, how we're doing right now, not worrying about anything in the future or anything in the past. The future hasn't come yet. The past is already gone. And then just bringing the awareness right here and now. Breathing in the vital energy, the pranic energy flowing into our lungs. Beautiful. Let's take the belts in the right hand. The belt in the right hand, left arm to the side, and just take that leg out wide for a few breaths. So opening it out. That's it. Good. Taking a few breaths here. And then let's inhale back to center. Take the belt into the other hand, right arm out to the side and guide that leg over to the left, looking out over the right middle finger. Inhale, coming back to center, and let's release that right leg down. And then we'll take the left foot across, the belt across the left foot, stretching that leg up toward the sky, sliding the hands down the belt a little bit, and breathing here. Imagining that pranic energy, that life force. Breathing in and out. The exhalation, relax your body. All the face muscles soften. And then let's take the belt in the left hand, the right arm out to the side at shoulder height, and let's open that leg over to the left for a few breaths. Good. Inhale back to center. Swap the belt into the other hand now. Take that left arm out to the side and guide that leg across you. Take some beautiful breaths here. Feel the back of your body relax into the ground and shoulders. Good, on your next inhalation, coming back to center, and then let's release that leg down. Just take your belt and just pop it down on the ground. Good. And then from here, we're going to roll onto our side. So we're going to come onto our side, and you can, if you wanted to, have a little cushion or something to rest under your head, or a block or a blanket, and we can rest on our side. So whichever side you are, we'll just work with that. I think we're all slightly different. That's okay. Now we can take the ground arm can either be extended up above the head, or you can have it straight out at shoulder height, whatever you prefer. And then we're going to stretch out through the legs a little bit. The other hand could support you by, you can take the palm of the fingers onto the ground. And then we're going to lift that top leg up toward the sky and then gently lower it down. So inhaling as we lift and exhaling as we lower. Let's do a few more with the breath. Good. And then let's lift that leg and do a few little circles, a few times one way. It's going to be quite strong in the hips, so see how you go. Oh, I can really feel that already. Yep. My hips are waking up. Good. And then we can hold the leg and circle the ankle a couple of times. The foot one way and the other way. And let's release that leg down. Bend the knees a little bit. It's not quite a 90-degree angle, a little bit less. Good. And then let's take our hand to top shoulder. And then we'll do some circles here. So we can make the circles nice and big. We can really reach around with the elbow. I quite like to allow myself to just open that shoulder a bit as well toward the ceiling as that arm circles around. Then we can go the other way and close the eyes. If you need to, sometimes it can feel good to exhale out through the mouth, especially if you feel like you're sort of releasing a little bit of tension as we progress through the practice. Beautiful. Now let's rest the top hand onto the bottom hand. The palms can come to meet. One palm on top of the other. And then from here, we're going to slide the top palm beyond the fingers. So it's like we're reaching that top arm
further. So it's like top shoulder sliding in front of the bottom shoulder a little bit as we reach that top hand beyond the bottom hand. And then we're going to bring that hand, slide it back across the palm and just back toward the wrist a little bit as we pull that top shoulder back. And then we slide it away again, beyond the fingers, just across the palm. Reach the fingers as far as you can without rolling onto your tummy. Good. And then pulling that hand slowly all the way back toward the wrist or forearm. And we'll just do that again, slide the fingers away, reaching, and slide the hands back. And then come to rest, palm on palm. And now we're going to raise that top arm, keeping the shoulders in alignment. So I'm not going to open up here. I'm just going to take the arm as far back as comfortable. And then we're going to exhale and slowly lower that hand back down. Inhale, open the arm. And exhale, coming back. We'll do that again. Inhale, open. And exhale, lower. And this time we can open the body a bit if you want. We could raise that arm, and as it sort of reaches shoulder height, we can open the body a little bit if you're wanting to. Open that shoulder into almost a twisting position, and then we can gently come back. Only if that's comfortable for your shoulder. You may like to open all the way up on the next one. We could raise the arm. You can even lift that top knee and let yourself open a bit further, adjusting the feet if you need to, maybe looking out over that shoulder. Good, bringing the arm back before bringing that knee back in as you come down. Good, we'll do another one, opening up. Becomes a reclining twist. Take a couple of breaths here, relaxing your body. Long, deep breath in and out. And then we can bring the arm, the shoulder, the hip, the knee back to that starting position. Beautiful. Let's support ourselves to either lift up, depending on how you are on your mat, or you might want to roll onto your tummy into the other side. Or you could just adjust yourself, make your way to the other side. Sometimes I go through a neutral position first, like a kneeling position, because I like to just really notice the difference in my body, and it feels quite different for me. So we're going to do the same on the other side when you're ready. Coming down, pop something under your head if you need to. And relaxing your body, have the support. We're starting with the legs straight for the first one. Good. And then we'll begin with the leg raises when you're ready to begin. 5 times with the breath. Making the breath last. Once you've completed that, you can do little circles with the leg. Circling around 4 times one way, and then the other way. And then we can circle the ankle a few times one way. and the other way. Good. And then we can bend the knees a little bit and come into a relaxed position. And we can bring top hand to top shoulder and start to circle that top elbow. Nice big circles around. Just close the eyes for a moment and feel into that movement. Feel into the breath. Any tension release with the exhalation. And then we can go in the other direction if you're not already. Just slowing everything down. Just conscious mindful movement. No need to rush. And then we can take one palm onto the other palm. And then from this series, we're now going to slide that top hand across the palm and beyond those fingers that are resting on the ground. And then we slide the hand back onto the palm and we just pulling that shoulder back a little bit as we slide the hands up toward the wrist or forearm. And then we're sliding them away again and reaching the fingertips beyond the other hand. We'll do that a few more times. And close the eyes. Good. And once you've completed that, bring the hands back together. Now we're going to do that opening variation. So we're inhaling and we're keeping the shoulders aligned as we just open the arm up to wherever, as far as it can reach. Beautiful. And then we exhale and we float that arm down. We're inhaling, opening the arm. And we're exhaling as we lower the arm back down. And just tuning into the breath. Good. And then the next one, if you want, you could open up a little bit here. You could let that shoulder open. You could just go a small way if you wanted. And then on the next one, go a little bit further. Whatever feels good. You could lift that top knee, just let that knee lift with the body as the body opens. Maybe take the foot to the ground, maybe look out over the shoulder. As we come back, bring the arm, the shoulder, the hip all coming back together. Good. Just notice how it feels. You may not need to lift the knee. You might find you can open up all the way depending on the twist, making sure that it's comfortable in your body. Last one, you can hold for a few breaths. And we can come back to center. Very good. Let's roll onto our tummies now. We're going to do a little bit of crocodile. I'm going to come onto our elbows And either rest our chin into our hands, and you can adjust the position as much as you need to. So you could extend the elbows further away. Sometimes this is stronger on the neck, so you could always rest instead the forehead into the hands. Or the elbows could come in a little closer, which is a little stronger into the back. Putting a little bit of pressure on the kidneys here. And we're going to settle into a position that's comfortable for us. You can put a little bit of action in the legs. Feel the feet press into the ground. Lengthen the tailbone back a little bit. And then tuning into the breath. Let the shoulders release down the back. And we're going to stay here for 30 seconds or so. If you need to come out sooner, you can. Closing down the eyes. Relax the body with the exhalations. Beautiful. And then we can gently release down. Just take the elbows out to the side, let your forehead rest onto your top hand for a moment. Or if you've had any problems with your neck, you can take your hands to clasp them over the back of your head instead of beneath the forehead. So you can take the forehead to the ground, interlace the fingers and just let them rest gently over the back of the head. You can slide the hands down toward the base of the skull and just draw them lightly up toward the top of the head. So it's just the sort of action at the base of the skull. And then relax the body here. Beautiful. Now let's bring the hands down beneath the shoulders or toward the ribs. Press ourselves up and just stretching back into a child pose. So the buttocks can come to the heels. The forearms can rest on the ground, or you could make fists with your hands, stack one fist on top of the other fist, rest your forehead to your fist. This is also really good for releasing any tension in your face. Or you could just reach the arms straight out in front of you, whatever arm variation that you would like to do today. Feel the breath in your body. Spread the fingers if the arms are outstretched. Beautiful. Inhale. It's coming up now onto our hands and our knees, and we'll do a little bit of cat-cow. So we'll stack our joints, and then when you're ready, we'll move into our cat-cow. We'll exhale as we round the spine. Inhale the opposite way. Exhaling as we round. Inhaling as we drop the belly down, squeeze the shoulders back. Good, let's take another 5 or 6 rounds. You can close the eyes or just soften the gaze. Feel along your spine. Very good. And then we can walk the hands back. If it's comfortable just to sit for a moment, you can sit for a moment. We're going to grab some props just so we've got them handy for pigeon pose. And then we're going to do it in the back bend. So you may need a block or a cushion for pigeon, or you might not need anything at all. You can also, if you wanted to have a bolster to support under your chest, you could grab a bolster. But for pigeon, we come up onto our hands and our knees, and then we're going to take, actually I'll come on this way so you can see better. We're going to take the right knee toward the right wrist, and then stretch our left leg back. So you could take your cushion or blanket under that right thigh or seat, and then we can stay here, or you can come down onto the forearms and see how that feels. So the idea of having the support is so that we can rest our weight into something. It could even be as high as a bolster. You might need a couple of blankets. You might find the hips are up higher, that's fine. But we want to be able to rest them down into something. And either the forearms will rest on the ground. You could have a bolster under the chest for more support, or we can rest all the way down if that's available to us. And this pose is going to feel different for everyone. So let's tune into the breath. If you need to come out of it at any time, you can. Otherwise, we'll stay here for several more breaths. Another nice alternative is even to use a block under the forehead for support. Good. Tuning into the breath here. Allow the hips to soften and release in the pelvis with the exhalations. Well done. Stay just for a few more breaths or a couple more breaths if you can. And then we can carefully lift up. We can bring our hands onto the ground. We can come up onto the knees. You can either stretch that leg back and have a little stretch, or you might like to do a little down dog if you're wanting to. So, or another nice one is just hands onto a chair or a tabletop position. If you're feeling all right in down dog, just press the hips back, take some breaths here, or you could always rest in child. A few deep breaths. And you're going to exhale out through the mouth, so in through the nose. Sigh it out through the mouth. We'll do one more. Pushing your hips back. Good, and then let's lower the knees and we'll do the opposite side. So this time we'll take left knee to left wrist. Stretch that right leg back. If we're a bit more open, the heel, the foot can come forward a bit too toward the top of the mat. Using your prop of your support under that left side this time. If you've got support under the chest, you can take it under the chest. The block will come under the forehead. Just do whatever you did on the other side, or make any adjustments if this side feels a bit different. Good. And then settling down, close your eyes when you're ready to, and really tuning into your breath and into that softening through the exhalation. Working with the breath. As we work with these lower chakras today, in the pelvis, in the base of the spine, we're helping to release any fear, helping us to go sort of with the flow a little more. Helping us to keep things moving so we don't feel sort of stuck in any way. Beautiful. And then let's very gently lift back up and stretch that leg out. Or if you wanted to do another down dog, we can spread the fingers, curl the toes under if that's available for the shoulders. Otherwise, you can just stretch that leg back from a tabletop position. Oh, notice how you feel. You can always bend the knees here, or stretch out through the legs. Take some beautiful breaths. Long, deep breath in. You can go out through the mouth. Good. Inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. And again. This is a good, really good way to release too. You can really let it out through the mouth. I can't hear, so you could just let out a big if you wanted to, just to let go. But anything you're holding on to, it's so good just to find ways to release. Good, and then lower the knees, lower the buttocks to the heels. You can bring the hands down around the body just for a couple of breaths in child pose. Good. And then let's roll up our spines. Good. So we're going to do a backward bend. We've done our crocodile, but we're going to do another backward bend now. And I want to give you an option here, because there's a few different things that you may like to do, and you can always try each of them. A nice gentle one is, which we've done before. If you haven't got props, you could just roll a blanket. It could just be rolled 1 or 2 times, or a towel, or you could make a larger roll and take that straight under the thoracic spine, sort of right behind the heart space. And you could have a little cushion. When you first come into it, you might find if the chin is lifting, take a little pillow or cushion under the head. The knees can be bent, or you could rest them in butterfly pose. Oh, that's a really nice heart opener. Very simple, but very effective. But you want it to be comfortable enough that you can stay there. If you want a deeper one, there's lots of different things we can do if you have props. So you're not all going to have props. So that's a good one we did before with a rolled blanket or towel. If you've got props, you can either use your bolster across under the back. If you had 2 bolsters, there's different things that we can do with that. Or you could even do Sapta Baddha Konasana. If you've got 1 bolster, there's a few ways we can work with that. Sometimes you find when you come over a bolster, if the head's a little bit left behind, you might need support with a block under the head, or you can always have a block under the hips so that the shoulders can come down onto the ground. And we can come into it here, or you could take the buttocks on the ground and the block under the head and open up through the chest here. That can be really lovely as well. I'll have a little look in the camera and see how you're going there. Yeah, that looks good. Beautiful, Jeanette. It's a really nice version too with that support you've got. Ah, good. And see how you go. It can be really nice. I know some of you have your legs straight too. That can be a really nice way to open up through the belly and to allow the belly to soften. But just whatever feels good. If it's too strong with the legs straight, bend one or bend both. And we're going to stay here for a little while. If at any point you need to, you can always come out and rest in child pose with or without support. Breathe in spaciousness and acceptance of what is. Breathe out any resistance. So these are some words from Dana Folds. Breathe in possibility and optimism. Breathe out any fear and doubt. Breathe in the feeling of ease. Breathe out the need to change the way this very moment is unfolding. Breathe in the certainty that whatever we really are is so much bigger than pain and suffering. Breathe out any limitation. Breathe in divinity and openness. Breathe out a prayer of thanks and gratitude that even in the midst of difficulty, there is always awareness. Breathe in love into the heart space. Breathe out any tension. Breathe in, opening. Breathe out any fear or worry. Breathe in love and peace. Breathe out any tension. So if you're comfortable, you can stay for a little bit longer. We'll stay for another 30 seconds to a minute. If you feel like it's time in your body, you can feel any niggling or you feel as though it's time to come out, then you can certainly make your way out and into child pose with or without the support of a bolster. Otherwise, just remaining here a bit longer, tuning into the breaths and that feeling of release and relaxation, of letting go on the exhalation. Sometimes with our back bends too, we can feel quite a bit of release. Sometimes we can feel emotions can flood us a little bit. We can even get a bit teary. That's all really normal. Just allowing for any sensations that arise in our practice. Just knowing that we've never been here before. Everything we're experiencing with this COVID, this pandemic and fatigue and everything else is new. It's all very normal for us to be feeling what we're feeling at this time. And it's also very valid, very reasonable. You can imagine giving ourselves a beautiful hug, supporting ourselves through this. So just taking a final long deep breath in and out. If you haven't already come out of it, we can very carefully make our way out of that posture and then just into child, either with the knees together or apart, with or without support. Just noticing how you're feeling.
And knowing that everything you're feeling is a response in your body.
And then let's gently and slowly make our way up.
Beautiful. You can start to sometimes feel, really feel that relaxation response, your body, restoring itself. Now the next one we'll do, I'm grabbing a chair, but you may not need a chair for a bolster or something else, but I just wanted to show you a really nice supported forward bend that we can do. There's a few options. If you've got a bolster, you could just use your bolster. So I'll just show you what we can do with a chair or the edge of the couch. We could sit in front of it cross-legged, and we can take the forearms onto the edge and just let our forehead rest onto our chair or couch. And you can adjust the height if you need it to be a little bit higher, you can have a cushion. You can also do this with a bolster, and I've seen people even bring the bolster onto their lap, and it's almost like it actually feels really good. If you have a bolster, you can rest it against the couch or chair, and you can give that a little cuddle. And I've actually got it resting up on my lap, so my belly is pressing against it, and my chest and everything is supported against this. The arms can either be up on the bolster or on your chair. Alternatively, you could just do any forward bend. This way is just nice and supported. If you're using a chair, you could always extend the legs out if it isn't too strong instead of cross-legged. I find it a bit more comfortable with the cross-leg. See how you go. But you might prefer them straight or even apart a little bit is fine too. Good. You need a little cushion under the arms. Beautiful. That's it, Joey. And then bring the bolster up on your lap, let the belly rest onto it. The arms can be down. I like to bring them up either onto the chair or onto the top of my bolster, taking hold of opposite elbows. It's up to you. And you can turn your head to the side. Feel the weight of your body. Relaxing into any support. Take a beautiful breath into your belly. Exhale it all the way out. Closing down the eyes. We can stay where we are and just very carefully turn our head to the other side. Keeping the eyes closed. Long, slow breaths. In and out. Beautiful.
can carefully make our way up, just very slowly. From here, we're going to do inversion. So you're welcome just to have the buttocks up on your bolster like some of you do. You could take your legs onto your chair or up against a wall. Alternatively, you could, if you want to lift the hips a little higher, you could use a bolster and the chair as another option. You would just have, if you need a blanket under you or a pillow for the head, you would have the buttocks on the bolster, the legs on the chair, the thighs are on an angle. And then the body is resting on the ground. Sometimes if it feels too high for my hips, I could have a couple of blankets under my back, but that feels pretty good for me. So it's just another option that's quite a good one. The arms are out to the sides or up above the head or beside the body. That's one way. Or any comfortable position for you. Just the legs on the chair is a very good one to help restore energy, to help calm the mind and the body. We all need a bit of that at the moment. So they're very nourishing, nurturing practices. And you can close the eyes, relax your body. Hear any noise on this end? There's a little bit of pottering around on the roof, I think, with an animal or a large bird. So I apologise, it's scuttering around up there. Taking some beautiful breaths. Feel your body relax down into the ground. Notice the breath passing in and out through the nostrils. The mind begins to wander. Just come back to the beautiful rhythm of your breath. Just following the breaths as they flow in, as they flow out. So if you're comfortable and supported with your legs on a chair or up the wall, then feel free to remain where you are. Otherwise, we'll slowly make our way into Shavasana just for a final little relaxation. So just keeping the body quiet, movement slow, make your way into Shavasana. And just taking 4 or 5 breaths there to begin with, just saying to yourself, I am relaxed with each breath. Taking some beautiful breaths in and out. Allow the feeling of relaxation to flow through your whole body. And as you relax your body, begin to visualize a bright white light high above you in a dark sky. And you're going to fill your body with this white light. So just taking a moment to consider what this light represents to you. It may be divine, cosmic, healing. It may be a protective light. See this white light above begin to descend, floating down until it comes to rest just above your head. Take a moment to feel the warmth emanating from the white light. And then see the light now begin to pour in through the crown of your head. Fills your head, your brain. You feel it flow through the muscles on your face. White light releasing tension around the eyes and temples, flowing down cheeks and nose, relaxing the lips and mouth, feeling the jaw relax, the back of the head. The white light now flows down the throat and the sides of the neck and into the top of the spine. Spreading out to fill the shoulders. Flowing down the arms to the elbows, the hands, each of the fingers flowing with light. White light fills your middle back, your chest, your heart. Flowing into the lower back, the hips, the abdomen, the groin. White light flowing down the legs, into the thighs, the lower legs, the feet. Each of the toes flowing with light. Imagine the white light flowing through your whole body. Breathe length into your spine. Your whole body flows with the comfort of white light. Imagine the white light flowing through your whole body, through each of your cells. And if there's a part of your body you'd like to concentrate this white light, just imagine it moving through that part of your body. Pulsing that part of your body with white light.
Slow now, beginning to notice any sounds around you. To hear the sound of my voice. To feel the energy of the day. We can slowly begin to deepen our breath. And when you feel ready to, very slowly, you can start to get a little bit of movement as we start to stretch out and awaken from our Shavasana. If you feel you need longer here, you can just remain where you are. Otherwise, we'll slowly start to make our way up into a seated position where we'll be finishing with another hand mudra, which we call pushpatuta, which is a handful of flowers. So for this one, the hands just rest open palmed in the lap. The thumbs gently rest against the edge of the index fingers, so the fingers are closed and they're just not touching in our laps, so the fingers aren't quite touching. It's like two little open palms, the thumbs resting against the edge of the index fingers. Two beautiful open hands, and we can close down the eyes here. So our hands are like empty bowls. And the focus here is on openness and acceptance. Pushpaputa mudra expresses this openness. Only with open hands can we enrich the world, and only with an open mind and an open soul can we receive what cosmic consciousness gives us. Our two hands are like open flowers, and we can imagine another flower on the top of our heads. When we breathe in golden rays, you can imagine golden rays coming from a cosmos that embodies love and warmth and joy and peace. And through the open flowers, they flow into our innermost self. We can let ourselves be filled with these golden rays. And we can radiate this wealth through your heart into the world with each exhalation. And we can say to ourselves or in the mind, I open myself to divine joy or healing power or light or love. And I let myself be filled by it. And I radiate it back into the world through my heart. And we'll stay here for a little longer, just feeling into that inner healing or inner love or inner light. Beautiful. And then we can bring our palms together now into Anjali Mudra of the heart. And we'll complete our practice today with our 3 Oms and Om Shanti Peace mantra. When you're ready, breathing in. Om. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Hari Om Tat Sat. Peace, peace, peace. I'm just bowing the head. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a beautiful day. And yeah, just walk slowly. Take it every day, very gently. Try to stay as much as we can in the moment or with the breath. And look forward to seeing you soon. Namaste.